All right, welcome back to Throttle Hobby with the Beamer again. And something I found out is that a lot of times when I check the codes and scan, it's saying it's missing on cylinder 2 and 3, doing all this stuff. So I was looking online, and supposedly a lot of people, when they go catless headers, you remove this, which is a secondary air pump. So we got to remove this and plug that hole for the engine. So you have to make a bracket for it. Basically, I don't know the exact terms of this, but someone put it in a specific way that says that this entire device was made when you have stock headers. That when you first start the car, it's supposed to let the car run a little bit rich, so that way the car can warm up to the stock headers. We don't have stock headers anymore, so this is useless. So apart from making the car run better and not making it misfire like crazy and run like shit, we're also going to get rid of it for weight reduction, because in all honesty, it's pretty much been broken for quite a time. So let's get that done. So first thing I think I'm going to do with this is I'm going to disconnect this hose using a flathead disconnect and see if I can pop that off. And I think there's also an electrical connector on the bottom, so let's get rid of this hose first. Alright, now that we've removed the hose, I used a 6mm on a short socket to remove that, and then we pretty much just pried this hose off with a flathead screwdriver. Now we can remove this, but as I said before, there's an electrical connector down here that we are going to have to pinch here and then remove like that. So now we get rid of this. It's kind of heavy actually. We don't need this anymore because we don't have stock cats anymore. We don't have cats in general. So leave that there. All right, next thing I'm going to do is remove this bracket, which is two 10mm bolts, and then we'll remove this bottom part, which is the part that we actually have to plug. So let's remove this, two 10mm. So also another reason people have told me you got to remove this too is because all these hoses that connect to it, they crack and they create vacuum leaks, which is not good for the car. And considering when I was trying to tune it, it popped up 1080 was the code, and when I looked up 1080, it said secondary valve something, but when I really looked into it, it said secondary valve pump, or secondary air pump. Looked on the internet, and people said immediately, you do catless heads or any kind of tuning like that, remove this. So, guess what your boy didn't do? That. But now we're in the process of doing it, so we'll see if the car runs any better. When you pretty much start the car in the beginning, it wants to die immediately, so you have to, I usually get it in by putting my foot on the gas, but it's getting kind of annoying because watching these other people go on and they could actually go and test drive their cars right away, where I have to figure. What the hell? Okay, so I got to remove that. I'll take the whole bracket out. So with this bracket, found out there's a third secret bolt down here. You actually get through the hole of this bracket and remove it. Let's see if I can take it out. It's right in there, if you can see it. There's a top one and there's a bottom one down there. Just have to remove this one, which seems to be coming out pretty good. With my fingers. Got it. And now this should just come right out. Alright, drag it out. Next thing to remove is that, which is also held on by two 10mm, which I remember correctly. And we're just going to hide these brackets. We're going to have to clamp this off somehow, but we'll figure something out. So let's get to this next. Let's put this over here. Alright, 10mm both sides. So next we'll be tackling the 10mm bolt on this side, and a 10mm bolt hidden on that side. I'm going to use a small extension of 10. I'm going to remove this part. Yep. Remove, not tighten. Remove. Alright, cool. So let me get this out, and then we'll find out what we're going to trace to plug up here. Alright, we got the part out. It actually works in our favor because the gasket stayed on there, so that's good. That'll help reseal it. Now we have to plug up that hole. I got a piece of aluminum. We'll have to cut it out. And luckily, we have a perfect little thing to draw over. We'll put on the aluminum, draw this out, and then cut out the piece. But before we do that, one of the guys at the welding shop said that before I start cutting this aluminum, I have to go either run it through some You said beeswax something. One guy said soap. So since soap is the one thing I actually know, I don't know with all this stuff, I'm running to the store and get some Irish Spring so we can cut this piece into here as we trace it with a marker. Alright, so I got my metal. I think I'm going to be cutting it first down this way, then this way. Just have this piece. We're going to save this because we could always reuse it for something. We went out and got some Irish soap, so let's just use this in the only way I think we're supposed to. Is to flip it this way. I'm going to be using this, so I'm going to just cover the blade in it a little bit.
No! God, please, no!
Alright. Damn, it smells good. Now, just going to cut it straight down. Say right about there. Now some soaped up. See if a newer blade will work better. Nope, bad battery. But newer blade seems to work a lot better. Let's get a new one in here. Charge this one up. Alright, I'm not going to bore you guys with how to cut a piece of metal. I'll show you when it's finally cut. Alright, so we got our piece cut. We'll just have to shape off some of this and punch 2 holes in there and drill some out. We will be saving this piece, and I will be putting this soap in the fridge so it doesn't melt, and we're going to be using it for home because it's still good soap and we might as well use it. The next thing is we're going to use a special punch, a little end point. We're going to punch out holes where we can start drilling so we're not all over the place. That looks good. 1. Sorry, the camera fell down. Hold on. That's 2. So we have 2 points now that we punched in so we can start drilling right where the holes need to be. Alright, so I test fit the part. It fits. It sits pretty good, so it's pretty flush. And I know the eyes probably look like Spooderman.
What the fuck?
And I don't know why the heck the drilled that way after even I made the points, but you know, whatever, not more. Let me try to get this piece out now. It's such a tight fit, but I guess that's good. Oh, here it comes. There it is. So yeah, I know the eyes kind of look like Spooderman at this point, but it works, it fits, it's gonna do the stuff done. I made it, and it really didn't cost me anything besides buying material off of a welding shop. So built, not bought. I like this kind of thing. I know some people are thinking, well, why don't you just go and buy a piece that they probably have online? Well, I don't know, I thought this was gonna be cooler, so I did it this way. So that's what it is. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna put a little bit of gasket maker. I'm gonna use the orange stuff because it's gonna be hot, and give it a little extra seal. Put this on, bolt it down, then we'll start the car. And normally when you do this, you will get a check engine light because obviously the secondary air pump's not there. But I got a tune from a guy, and if you tell him that you did catless headers or whatever, the tune should include something in it that prevents the check engine light from coming on. So before we even start this, I'm gonna run the tune through the car again just to make sure. Then we'll start it, we'll see how good it runs, so on and so forth. So let me get some good gasket sealer on here, the high temp stuff, and we'll put this on. And there it pretty much is, a secondary air pump delete, and how you're supposed to then plug it up. I went like that. Be careful with these nuts.
Got him! Got him!
I would just get them to, you know, be a little bit tight, and that's it. Don't overdo it because you could break it. And now what we're gonna have to do is plug off this hose, which I might have an idea on how to do that. So let's do that. But that's pretty much how you would do a secondary air pump delete. So next I'm going to grab a computer, run the tune through it, and then start it and see how it fires up. So what I've done here is I just found a bolt, put some gasket sealer around there to make a good thing, good seal, and then I tighten the heck out of this. I'm just going to leave that there. I plugged that, went to there, that's all good. So this should be good, and we're going to go turn it on and see how good it starts. And there we go, just started it, and now I can see there's no more bucks, no more hiccups, no more nothing. That definitely did the trick. Running pretty good. I'm going to try to do some coding, but that's pretty much how you do a secondary air pump delete. Catch you guys in the next video. Peace.